What's going on, everybody? It's Sergeant Galashaw. I had a person, they asked me how long does the process take to coming to recruiting. Um, so I'm active duty. I'm an active duty service member. I've been in for this is my 7th year in the Army. I got accepted for recruiting around the 5-year mark, going into my 6-year mark. How the process goes to become a recruiter, all right, and how it happened for me was I got assigned to my battalion. So I was working in battalion S3. So I was dealing with schools and I was dealing with school packets. So there was a lot of people, becoming drill sergeants, recruiters, instructors, and things of that nature, and they were applying for. I didn't even know about any of this. So it wasn't until I got into S3 and I found out that, if you've been in, you can apply for broadening assignments, so you can get accepted for them. And the packet isn't really that difficult. So I went online and I downloaded the packet for recruiting. Also, every military installation has a liaison, or like it should be a sergeant first class or above, who is a recruiter for service members who want to go into recruiting. Now, I'm only going off my experience. I can't say what is factual, and I don't have my computer or anything in front of me. I'm doing this video real quick to answer a question that somebody had asked in the video. So I think you got to be at least a E5, if I'm not mistaken. Things may have changed, but I think you have to be at least an E5. You might be able to be an E4, but E5 for sure. I downloaded the packet, and the packet, was an application pretty much like similar to the one that you use when you enlisted in the Army. So in the packet, I had to have a DA photo. I had to take a DA photo. I had to have an interview by my commander and my battalion commander and the brigade commander. They all had to interview me and ask me, they asked me, about me and why do I think I'd be good at recruiting and things of that nature. I had to get a background check. I had to have a clearance. There was a map in the application. So you get to pick where you want to go for recruiting. Now, it is based on what they have open, but for the most part, you get to pick. All right. You can become a recruiter 2 ways. You either gonna get DA selected, which means that your branch, they need a certain amount of recruiters to recruit. So your branch is gonna look at who's available and who's qualified. And if you meet the qualifications, they're just going to automatically put you on assignment to recruit, or you can volunteer. If you decide to volunteer, like I did, I went to my recruiter liaison on my installation. I was at Fort Stewart, Georgia. He had a class on how to go through the packet and things of that nature. And once I got the packet done, I submitted it to him, and he submitted it to USAREC. All right. So then after USAREC got the he submitted my packet to USAREC, and USAREC responded, like, and he CC'd me in the email. They literally responded the next day and was like, we accepted the packet. We will contact you for further details. So probably about a month later, I got an email, and it was like I got accepted for USAREC. So I got accepted, and that they were going to contact my branch to have my branch release me. And that they would let me know how that goes. So after that, I didn't hear anything. And one of my friends, a few of my friends had applied for recruiting, and they got picked up, and they were getting class dates and all that stuff like that. And I think at this time I'm in ALC. I think it's been like 4 or 5 months since I submitted the packet. And one of my friends got a school date, and they submitted their packet after me. So they was like, you need to speak to branch and find out. So I contacted branch, and it was when I contacted them that they were like, oh yeah, let's go look in the thing. And they ended up giving me a school date. So then I got a school date. My school date, when I contacted them, I think it was in like August, I think it was like August. Once I contacted them, and it was like, oh yeah, you did, let's look it up. They put me on for a school date in October. All right. Now, one of the qualifications is you have to have a secret clearance. And of course, in order for you to have a secret clearance in the Army, you have to meet certain you got to meet certain criteria in order to have a secret clearance. Can you be in debt and have a secret clearance? Yes, you can be in debt, but you have to be making payments. Like, it's okay to owe money and things of that nature. Like, I had student loans and things of that nature, but if you're not paying on your student loans and they're like in default, or you're not doing anything to alleviate that or fix that situation, then you're not going to get a clearance. Funny story, when I first enlisted in the Army, I did not have a clearance, and I didn't know anything about clearances until I joined, but I didn't have a clearance because my student loans were in default when I joined the Army. So it wasn't until I was going to change my MOS that I realized the importance of having a clearance and things of that nature. So I was going to change my MOS to 46 Romeo, and I needed a clearance, so I applied for the clearance, and I got an email back saying that it was denied due to the fact and the reason that it was denied was because I had student loans that were in default. So I met with a counselor, and she explained how I do the packet, and before that I was already working on my student loans. I was so I don't know, for all service members active duty, if you have any financial issues, I highly suggest that you go to ACS and you see a financial counselor. Learn about finances, educate yourself on finances, and use ACS. That's what they're there for, and it's free. So I was already seeing a financial counselor like once a month, and he helped me build my credit. He helped me come up with a budget to manage my money. He helped me open up CDs. He helped me open up all types of investments and things of that nature. And I was already like working on my student loans. So they put me in this program where, based on my rank at the time, I think I was an E4, I only had to pay like $50 or $60 a month. And as long as I did that for 9 months straight, my student loans would get out of default. They consolidated all my student loans, and I only had to pay one solid fee for all my student loans combined a month. And I'll either pay them off in the 10 years, or if it's already paid off before the 10 years, then I'm good. But like, let's say I owed a whole bunch of money, as long as I made these payments in on time and never missed it in 10 years, it doesn't matter how much I owe, they would go away. So I was already in that program. So I just submitted the documentation showing that I've been seeing a financial counselor. I had him write a memorandum for me, and I provided documentation showing that I was working on my student loans, and I was able to get my clearance. So when I applied for recruiting, I got accepted for it, and they had me for a school day for October. But then I had a type 2 offense for some reason, because of the student loan issue that had came up at that time. They did an investigation on me and found out that I was denied a clearance when I initially enlisted, and they wanted to know why. So I had to resubmit the documentation showing that I submitted documentation to get my clearance, in which I have it. When that finally went through, because I had to get it signed all the way up to the major general. So I had to get my commander, brigade commander, battalion, brigade, and then the major general to sign it. And that process took like 2 months. So once that went through, they put me into the next available class, which was in February, and I went to the school, and then that was it from there. So that is my experience. You have to have a clearance. If you don't have a clearance, you got to be able to get a clearance. And if you end up having a type 2 offense, you can appeal it to get approved. But type 1, if you have a type 1 offense, you can't do it. So like if you were if you're active duty, or even before you join, you got locked up for something or something of that nature, and it puts you in the type 1 offense, then you won't be able to get picked up and accepted for it. But anyway, that was a quick video on how the process goes. If you want me to go more into detail, just let me know, and I will like do research and pull up and dig up my old applications and things of that nature, and I'll go into that. All right, y'all have a good day.